Kasama po natin, walang iba kundi ang team leader ng House Prosecution Panel, walang iba kundi si Representative Jervil Jinkibitrix Luistro ng 2nd District ng Batangas, si Representative Lawrence Defensor ng 3rd District ng Iloilo at si Representative Zia Lonto Adyong, ating spokesperson ng 1st District ng Lanao del Sur. Bago po ang lahat, bigyan natin pagkakataong magbigay ng opening statement ng ating chair.
Good afternoon, everyone. So today, natunghayan po natin ang pag-uumpisa ng paglalatag ng mga ebidensya in support of Article 1. That is misuse, misappropriation, and irregular liquidation of confidential fund of both the Office of the Vice President and the Department of Education. No? Just now ay natapos ang presentasyon ng dalawang former bank managers. One is Violeta Constantino of Land Bank Shaw Boulevard Branch. That is for the Office of the Vice President. And the other is Nenita Camposano. That is for DepEd Branch, corresponding naman dito sa confidential fund ng Department of Education. Today also, we requested for the issuance of subpoena ad testificandum and subpoena duces tecum for our witnesses next week. That will be August 3, August 4, and August 5. At kung sino-sino ang mga ito, kasama po dito yung former state auditor ng ICFAO. And by ICFAO, it means Intelligence Confidential Fund Audit Unit ng Commission on Audit. First is the former state auditor and second is the present state auditor. No? So apparently, dalawa yung testigo natin na kukompleto sa kwento about the audit of this confidential funds. And the third is our Legislative Bureau Head, no? Upang i-identify naman ang mga dokumento na nanggaling sa House of Representatives. So, tuloy-tuloy po ang ating presentasyon ng evidence kaugnay ng confidential fund. And I understand, kanina pre-announce na rin ng ating presiding officer about yung naging proposal ng impeachment court. Through the initiative, as the presiding officer has said, the Honorable Senator Judge Bam Aquino. Linawin ko lang po, the initiative came from the impeachment court. Tinanong po kami whether we will be amenable to switching to the rule of alternating system of presentation per article, which means prosecution and defense per article. No? I wish to acknowledge that in our manifestation, we agreed to the proposal of the impeachment court initiated by Senator Judge Bam Aquino for a number of vital reasons. One is, it is consistent to organize, coherent, and self-sustained proceeding of the impeachment court. Second, it will provide better opportunity not only for the senator judges, but even to the viewing public to have a better and more accurate appreciation of the evidence which are being presented, first by the prosecution and second by the defense. Third, I wish to say that there should be no issue of due process because either way you go, kung per article man yan, or the prosecution will finish first all the 4 articles before the defense starts, either way, palaging may opportunity ang defense to present their own evidence. So there is no issue about due process. Fourth, there should be no issue also about proof beyond reasonable doubt because this is not a criminal case. This is an impeachment case, and according to the Constitution and even in the Senate rules, walang quantum of evidence. If at all, dun lang yan nabanggit. sa Duterte versus House of Representatives, which mentioned about clear and convincing evidence, which is apparently below the quantum of proof beyond reasonable doubt. Ultimately, gusto ko lang ibahagi sa ating mga kababayan, matter of rules. It falls within the exclusive power of the Senate to try and decide, no? So with all due respect to them, even in fact without soliciting the position of either or both parties, it is within the power of the impeachment court should they wish to change the rule. Thank you.
All right. Pwede na po tayo mag-accept ng questions? Okay. Unahin po natin si Gab.
Ma'am, sirs, tinanong ko na to kanina pero baka may reaction lang po kayo. Kasi yung mga testimonies nung dalawang land bank branch manager, actually mas yung una, si Constantino, parang kino-corroborate po niya yung mga sinabi ni Ramil Madriaga dun sa Committee on Justice na merong 4 na bags na pinaglagyan ng pera at yung withdrawal, sabi nga na-observe din po namin kayo na yung withdrawal date nung cheque is December 20 at yung sinasabi ni Ramil Madriaga na araw na dinistribute niya yung pera was also December 20. What do you think of this, yung parang similarities dun sa testimonies given na maaga sinabi ni Madriaga na April pa tapos na-corroborate nung land bank manager?
We can say that evidence should corroborate itself, ganun ang sa prosecution, without delving on the merits. Pero dapat nagtutugma naman talaga lahat, as far as we are concerned.
Pero without giving detail to the strategy of the prosecution team, pwede niyo po ba i-disclose kung kailan, what point in this discussion of Article 1 do you intend to call Ramil Madriaga to the witness stand?
May I respond to that? Alam po ninyo yung list ng witnesses, it is not fixed. As a matter of fact, part of the PTO or the pre-trial order is a reservation to present even additional evidence or witness should the exigency of the trial demands, no? And as we have witnessed, during the presentation in support of Article 4 threat, nag-withdraw naman ng names ng witnesses ang prosecution. In other words, it depends really on the progress of the trial, whether we will be presenting all the witnesses in the PTO, which the prosecution submitted, or whether we will withdraw some, or whether we will be presenting additional witness, again, depending on the exigency of the trial. What will dictate the prosecution as to who will be presented and as to when they will be presented will be the progress of the trial.
Sir, good morning. Ma'am, good morning. Ann po ng Bombo Radio. Ano po ang asahan natin next week since may mga bago po tayong mga testigo? Ano pong asahan natin sa kanila? Ano po yung mga posibleng ilalahad pa nila para sa susunod na linggo?
With respect to the two state auditors from COA, ICFAO, no? Huwag tayong malilito, ha? Very specific itong fund na pinag-uusapan natin. This is confidential fund. So, we expect to hear from the witnesses, both the former state auditor in the person of Roderick Wamil and the present state auditor in the person of Silene May L. Del Campo, yung naging proseso ng audit and whatever findings they were able to arrive at concerning the confidential fund of the OVP and the DepEd respectively. No? So in other words, ang maririnig natin next hearing, that is August 3 and 4, will be the audit process, including the findings, and perhaps itong mga nababanggit na din during the proceeding of the Justice Committee, the notices of disallowance, and even the decision of COA which sustained the notice of disallowance.
Ma'am, follow up. Yung mga pahayag po kanina, revelation ng dalawang testigo regarding po sa encashment ng Office of the Vice President, maituturing na po ba natin itong parang pasabog din sa confidential funds issue na kinakarap ni Vice President Sara?
Ang unusual ay appetizer pa lang. And unusual is the perfect start for the prosecution pagdating sa confidential funds. We will let the evidence lead the court to a finding of betrayal of public trust and culpable violation of the Constitution in the coming trial days. So sa palagay namin, mahusay na simula ito, na sa simula't simula pa lang, ang mga bangko na pinaggalingan ng 612.5 million na cash ay unusual. And like I said, unusual is the perfect start for confidential funds.
Dadagdagan ko lang, no, yung word na dinescribe ng dalawang witness natin. Hindi lang yung amount ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, pero yung paraan kung paano ito ginamit at paano to in-encash. Usually kasi, sa mga transaction, meron talagang account ang bawat gobyerno. Ito kasi hindi account eh. Talagang ang purpose lang nila i-encash yung pondo, no? Yung 612.5 million pesos. Pangalawa, mukhang may calendar eh. Mukhang nakakalendar. Kung titingnan nyo at mapansin nyo, pinakinggan nyo yung tanong ni Senator Judge Panfilo Pinglacson, ang tanong niya is, mayroon ba kayong ipapresent na competent witness na parte sa intelligence community? Kasi normally, being a former investigator himself, ang confidential or intelligence funds, hindi mo talaga ma-predict yan kung kailan yung kailangan eh. Depending on kung ano yung naging development or flow kung gumagawa kayo ng mga intelligence events or gatherings of intelligence, para for intelligence report. Kumbaga na outside of the realm of possibility, naging predictability na siya to a point that yung pagkakalendar ng every quarterly with a specific amount, mukhang makikita yung pattern at the manner by which it was released na there's really that intent to really utilize these funds for the whole year na ma-zero. So, ibig sabihin, yung mismong way of using the confidential funds ay mukhang of suspect na siya. No? At nasabi naman din nung dalawang branch managers na unusual yung amount na yon. Remember, babalikan po natin, ito pong pondo na ito ay hindi diniposit, nakadeposit sa isang account, marahil ito ay paraan kung paano ito i-encash from a check, diretso, same date, 2 days before the encashment, sinabihan na yung branch ng Land Bank na ito yung pangalan na pupunta at dito nyo i-encash. So, ibig sabihin, meron na silang sistema kung paano i-use up itong confidential funds na base doon sa flow ng releases ay parang nakakalendar at parang may cadence, no? Every quarterly.
All right, Dwight?
Hello po, Kongs. Kanina parang naging paulit-ulit yung diskusyon sa pagiging unusual nung withdrawals, pero at the same time kung suspicious ba siya. Nakaka-apekto po ba sa kaso ng prosecution that the two bank officials didn't say that the encashments were suspicious?
Well, if we listen to the purposes of testimony of these witnesses, wala namang binanggit si Congressman Joel Chua about suspicious and covered transaction. I think it is clear that the only purpose of the testimony is to establish the fact na ito ay galing sa National Treasury, na download dun sa dalawang agencies at na-encash nitong mga payees who apparently represent those agencies, no? Wala akong narinig about the purposes concerning suspicious and covered transactions. I think magiging significant ang discussion natin about Anti-Money Laundering Act as well as the circumstances when the transaction becomes suspicious and when the transaction is covered. Siguro pagdating natin dun sa paapat na artikulo na ilalatag ng prosecution, that is amassing unexplained wealth.
Pero ito pong testimonya po ng dalawang bank officers, would you say that it adds credence to the testimony of Ramil Madriaga in the House of Representatives dahil nga po may pagtutugma sa ilang mga detalye, especially on the day of December 20 kasi yun yung araw na kunento ni Ramil Madriaga doon sa House na dineliver niya yung pera sa kung sino-sino tapos binigay sa kanya sa DepEd office yung 4 bags, and it would seem like if ititingnan natin yung timeline, before that, nangyari yung encashment, yung withdrawal doon sa Shaw Boulevard branch ng Land Bank.
Well, without dwelling on the trial kanina, no, if the question pertains only on the question of consistency, I think it was re-emphasized na yung testimony kanina is somehow consistent to the testimony during the time of the justice proceeding. That is without dwelling on the trial kanina.
But kasi
Clarify lang natin, was it withdrawal? Kasi I think the testimony of the two witnesses, it's more of encashment eh.
encashment.
So, kaya nga sinasabi natin that the pattern by which this is being released and used ay talagang may cadence eh, may calendar eh, nakakalendar kung anong kumbaga parang it's no longer the usual utilization of confidential funds, which is hindi mo talaga siya ma-predict, no? If you go to the point of Senator Lacson, that's exactly what he's been saying. Na, I mean, in terms of intelligence and confidential fund, hindi mo talaga siya ma-predict ng every quarterly may paggagamitan kayo dito. Precisely because any possibility might happen after 2 months or in fact, maski sabihin natin na year, hindi mo magagamit yan. Pero yun, may systematic eh, na gagawin yung day, yung kanakakalendar, at yung manner kung sinong bibigyan, at magkano yung amount, at ano yung papadaan, at ilang day po pwedeng ma-release.
Kung say na lang dahil di ka naman covered ng sub judice, but do you think that the testimonies of the two support the belief that Madriaga is a credible witness? Kasi may ganoon naman talagang discussions na may mga syempre pinapabulaanan yung credibilidad ni Madriaga as a witness, pero dahil yung testimonya kanina nung dalawa ay seemingly lining up to Madriaga's testimony, does that make him a more credible witness?
Well, as to whether or not he will be presented before the impeachment court, that is entirely within the decision of the House Prosecution Panel without even saying na gagawin nila yon, because this is my personal take on that. Of course, yes. Kasi yung pagpresenta, hindi naman magkakilala ata yung dalawang bank managers at saka si Madriaga, no? So pero may pagkakapare-pareho yung sinasabi nila, yung description nung nilagyan ng pera, yung ano yung bag, ilang bag ang nilagyan, at saka yung date na pinag-releasean ng natong check na to, may kakapagkakapere. Pero I don't think this is a made-up story agreed by these three individuals, di ba? So it would definitely give credence and credibility to the testimony of Madriaga. But as to your question whether he is a credible witness, that is already beyond. I think it's no long. Yeah, it's already beyond. Yes, that is already beyond the judgment of the House Prosecution Panel, because the one that can actually determine whether one is competent or not is the impeachment court. No?
Kong Jinky, sige po. Thank you po. Kong Jinky, quickly lang, is it safe to say or accurate to say na sa ngayon po wala pang kasiguruhan kung haharap o magte-take ng witness stand si Ramil Madriaga?
What I can say is Ramil Madriaga is part of the names of the witnesses we submitted to the impeachment court in support of Article 1 confidential fund, no? Like any other witnesses who are included in that list, their presentation will really depend on the exigency of the trial. We have witnessed this during our presentation of Article on Threat. Nakalista pero may na-withdraw. But there's a possibility also na hindi nakalista, but we will be seeking the permission of the court that they be presented, no? So, while we submitted names of witnesses and they form part of the pre-trial order, as to whether they will be presented or not will entirely depend on the progress of the trial.
Ma'am, good afternoon po. Linas Kapandi, GMA News Online. Ma'am, yung sa testimonies lang po, how does this huge amount of unprecedented cash withdrawals boost your allegation that there was indeed misuse of confidential funds on the part of the Vice President?
Well, unang from the very start, the reason why, again, babalikan po natin from the very beginning, no? Kasi one of the senator judges was also asking during the confirmation hearing, and even, in fact, way back as the good government hearing. The fact that COA has already flagged the use of these confidential funds is already enough basis for us na meron talagang misuse of the confidential funds. Now, yung mga naririnig natin from reports, ito na ay magiging official na ebidensya sa impeachment court, where we can actually discuss about, among other things, no, yung manner kung paano ginamit ang pera, kung magkano yung ginamit na pera, at alin ang mga na-violate doon sa joint circular ng ginawa po ng COA. So, of course, it would definitely boost the allegation as contained under Article 1, because according to kung papakinggan po natin for ordinary Filipino at mapakinggan po natin yung kanilang testimonya, ito pong amount na ito at saka yung sequence at saka yung frequency ng pagre-release nitong pag-in-cash nitong mga cheque na ito ay unusual para sa kanila. Para isa sa yung mismong manager ng Land Bank DepEd ang nagsasabing first time niya na meron siyang na-experience na may ganitong klaseng transaction with this kind of amount. So, doon pa lang, sabi nga ni Kong Lawrence, doon pa lang, that's already enough appetizer for the public to realize that there's really that intent, no, to really misuse itong confidential funds, pera ng taong bayan na pinagkatiwala sa kanya.
Follow-up lang po. Does this also establish that it was the Vice President who ordered her subordinates to encash those funds? Would that be accurate?
Again, as to your question kung anong na-establish, we always need to go back to the purposes for which the testimony was offered. Wala po akong naaalala sa purposes ng testimony nitong dalawang testigo from Land Bank, former branch managers, about having been ordered by the respondent Vice President for the encashment of those checks.
last na lang po. Yung pinoint out po kasi ni Senator Lacson about having the need for, I guess, a person who is someone na gumagamit ng confidential fund. Do you feel the need to field a witness for this po? Halimbawa from law enforcement or kahit siguro civilian agency na consistent recipient of confidential fund, maybe the ombudsman?
Well, I personally appreciate yung naging concern ni Senator Judge Ping Lacson, no? But I wish to solicit your understanding about the confine of the allegations under Article 1. Ang sabi dyan, misuse, misappropriation, and irregular liquidation of confidential fund, no? So if the question would be, tama ba na merong confidential fund itong mga agencies na ito? I think that will be beyond the allegations. Kasi ang ating allegation is confined only on nagamit ba ng tama? Nawala ba? Tama ba yung mga requirements na ipinasa for purposes of liquidation, no? It does not touch on the propriety of having this confidential fund of the agencies mentioned, which are the Department of Education and the Office of the Vice President. But I understand, hindi lang naman yun ang concern ni Senator Judge Ping Lacson, no? So we will be discussing it among ourselves kung among the list ba of our witnesses ay kayang i-address yung concern ni Senator Judge Ping Lacson. Otherwise, I understand may reservation naman tayo under Article 1, Confidential Fund.
Balikan ko lang yung tanong mo kanina kasi hindi naman ako under sub judice rule. Kung pa yan. Balikan po natin the previous mga hearings, no, where Ms. Acosta and Mr. Fajarda mentioned about the Vice President ordering them. Kasi sila po yung Special Disbursement Officer, nandiyan sa joint circular na kung hindi yung principal, yung Special Disbursement Officer. These two witnesses that we have presented today are not competent to really say na ang nag-order talaga sa kanila ay Vice President. But if you go back to the previous testimony, this has been already a public record kasi nag-testify sila during the hearing. Talagang ang Vice President, kasi we're talking about 600 point something million pesos. Now, may kasabihan tayo na backstops at the head of the department of the agency. So naturally, they cannot be a special disbursement officer without their principal, no, appointing them or designating this role to these two special disbursement officers, which is Ms. Acosta and Mr. Fajarda, na sila yung payee nang nagpapa-withdraw at nag-i-encash dito sa 612.5 million pesos na confidential funds.
Magandang hapon po. Isa Umali po from DZWB. Kanina po may nabanggit si Senator Judge Alan Peter Cayetano, just because it's unusual doesn't mean it's illegal. Meron din pong ganitong nabanggit kanina or natanong si Senator Judge Robin Padilla. May we get your reactions po? Thank you.
We do not want to draw any conclusions as to whether it's illegal or not. Ang sinasabi lang natin, it was a good start that it was established by the bank representatives that there was cash in the amount of 612.5 million that was encashed. It was unusual. And indeed, that money went to DepEd and the OVP. OVP and DepEd. And that's the purpose for those two witnesses. And for the rest of the evidence that will prove betrayal of public trust and culpable violation of the Constitution, let's wait for our other witnesses and our other evidence to prove that.
Ma'am. Kay Kong Adyong, bilang di rin siya sakop ng subjudice. Yung pong sinabi po ni Senator Alan Peter Cayetano na just because it's unusual doesn't mean illegal po yung transaction sa bank. Copy-paste din. Ito na lang po kay Lead Prosecutor Jervil Luistro. Kanina po ang sumalang ay si House Prosecutor Joel Chuan. Na alam naman po natin, gamay niya po kasi itong issue ng confidential funds. Kung kayo po yung magbibigay ng grado kay Congressman Chua, ano po ito?
11/10. I wish to commend Congressman Joel Chua for having successfully concluded his direct examination to both witnesses, no? Ms. Violeta Constantino of Land Bank Shaw Boulevard Branch and Nenita Camposano of DepEd Branch, no? You have to understand that we are lawmakers. We are members of the House. And it's been quite a while na wala kami sa litigation. And yet, these members of the House are showing their courage to once again engage in examination of witnesses. And this is only for one thing, dahil sa pagmamahal sa bayan. Congratulations to Congressman Joel Chua.
All right. Let's hear it from Haji and then Marian.
Hello po, magandang hapon. To follow up on Isa's question, hindi po ba kayo nababahala na halimbawa baka gamitin pong narrative na naman na yung sinabi nga pong hindi naman illegal kung unusual lang naman, yun nga po yung play of words sa unusual, sa suspicious, sa illegal. Pero hindi po ba kayo nababahala gamiting narrative especially ng taga-suporta ng kabila? Ganun pa.
Let's be specific about the testimony earlier, no? It could be interpreted that way, and I agree, not all unusual activities could automatically translate it into something illegal. But let's be focused also on the articles of impeachment. That is precisely why COA came out with a disallowance because of the violation of the joint circular. Not only just the amount, but the manner by which it was spent. So, yun ang sinasabi po namin. It could not be necessarily illegal, but this is the basis for COA to come up with that adversarial result of holding the Vice President accountable by making sure that she needs to restitute immediately the amount that they utilized outside of what was prescribed under the joint circular.
Dagdag ko lang, araw-araw akong nababahala sa fake news at sa pag-twist minsan ng lumalabas sa impeachment court. But I do not want the public to put their trust in fake news. Tandaan ninyo, dapat hindi tayo maging technical dito sa Senate impeachment trial. Again, this is not a judicial process. Mas gusto kong maintindihan ng pangkaraniwang mamamayan na ang gusto naming patunayan dito ay paglabag sa konstitusyon, hindi simpleng krimen, ang betrayal of public trust at culpable violation of the Constitution ay napakalawak ng definisyon ng pagkakamali sa saligang batas. Hindi ako nababahala na ang ebidensya ay maiiba sa pagtingin ng ating mga senator judges dahil mga mahuhusay sila at sigurado akong maiintindihan nila kung ano yung tama. Nababahala ako sa publiko na naiiba ang pagtingin nila dahil sa fake news.
Last na lang po. Na-surprise po ba kayo or in-expect nyo po na hindi nag-cross-examine masyado ang defense? Kasi alam ko 2 questions lang din po dun sa pangalawang witness.
Ako hindi ako na-surprise because the subject matter of the testimony is the encashment of the check and it is completely documented, no? So how else will you conduct a cross-examination on this witnesses who are merely testifying on the process that was done concerning the encashment? But that is for me only.
Nagpapasalamat ako kay Attorney Michael Powa na pabilis ang ating proceedings ngayong araw at naging maliwanag, malinaw at mabilis. At yun sana ang gusto natin na maintindihan ng mga tao sa simpleng pamamaraan na hindi natin kailangang palawigin pa. So maraming salamat for today and we live to fight another day tomorrow. On Monday.
Bakit walang question si Rosalie?
Next po si Ate Rose. Good afternoon po, Kongs. Kong Defensor, you said earlier yung mga binanggit po na unusual ay perfect start na no, pagdating po doon sa confidential funds. Clearly po, noong impeachment hearing po sa Justice Committee, na lumabas na po doon, no? Yung bukod po doon sa 72.3 million na pinababalik ng COA Notice of Disallowance, nandun din yung 375 million pesos na another Notice of Disallowance for the 2023 CF po ng OVP. Doon po na-establish na yung pattern sa maling paggasta po ng opisina ni VP Sara. Yun po ba yung aabangan nating pasabog, kumbaga? And ano pa po yung makikita natin next week?
Well, yes, at least sa ngayon, nakita natin yung testimonya ng dalawang land bank managers na hindi naman ata sila nag-uusap pero mukhang pareho yung manner kung paano in-encash at saka ano yung yung amount, no? At the same source of amount, which is the confidential funds. So clear po yun, na-establish na po yan. In fact, hindi na po nag-cross ang depensa, no? Patungkol dyan. So I think yung binabalikan po natin today na na-establish is yung amount na yon, sinasabi ng dalawang bank managers na unusual sa kanila kasi first time nila naka-experience ng ganon. Maybe I'm not trying to this is not actually to probably explain to you kung ano yung bakit nila nasabi na unusual, pero kasi normally baka sa mga ibang ahensya meron talaga mga accounts, no? Ang mga agencies in land bank, pero ito kasi hindi to withdrawal, talagang encashment. So I mean, from that alone would speak yung allegation ng ating gusto nating ipresenta at i-establish sa korte in the coming days na hindi lang po yung amount ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, pero even yung manner by which, again, these amounts are being spent. Did you get my point?
How it was spent?
Yeah, the way it was spent.
Yun nga po, yung misuse, no? I would just like to ask lang po, may ongoing na po bang cases or charges or complaints filed against VP regarding plunder, technical malversation regarding this?
I am not very much certain, but what I recall, after the termination of the inquiry in aid of legislation of the Committee on Good Government, then presided by Congressman Joel Chua back in 19th Congress, nag-submit ng committee report. And then this committee report was docketed during the time of then Ombudsman Samuel Martires. Apart from that, wala na po akong ibang updates.
Yes, and gano'n nga po kalaking pasabog to. And also, yung mga lalabas dito regarding po dun sa maybe yung complaints or yung recommendations to file charges. Posible bang makadagdag doon?
I think the reason why I don't kasi part na yan po sa presentation next week, so mukhang other than what the presiding officer as requested by the prosecution panel, yung mga magiging saksi next week, tabayan na lang po natin kung ano yung magiging testimonya nila pagpapresenta po ng House Prosecution Panel.
Last na lang, sir, yung the fact na lang na may pinababalik na pondo mismo para kay VP Sara and other involved officials. What does it say?
I think that's a separate case altogether, no? The restituting that exact amount is from the Vice President to COA, and that's a separate issue. Ang pinag-usapan po natin dito is the act alone by violating the joint circular, yung kanyang conduct nung pagbigay sa kanya at pag-trust sa kanya nitong confidential funds, yung kanyang ginawa, would that be allowable or even yung fitness niya na binigyan siya na ganitong halaga, na pagkatiwalaan ba siya na gamitin itong klaseng halaga, itong halaga na to para gawin ang anong dapat niyang gawin according to her mandate, no? So, ito po yung pinag-uusapan natin dito sa impeachment trial na ito, yung fitness po niya. As to other cases that the Vice President is probably facing with COA, that's a separate case altogether.
All right, thank you, Marian. Lance, do you still want to ask your question? Go ahead.
Hello po. Short question lang po on my end. Kasi as we all know po, yung confidential funds, yung may pinakamahabang trial days. Given na naging mabilis po ngayon, nakapagdalawang witnesses kayo, and as you've mentioned, Kong Jinky, kanina na magdedepende naman yung pagpresenta ng ibang witness sa magiging progress ng trial, can you answer now kung may exhaust po ba ng prosecution itong 31 trial days? Because it may take more than a month bago po ito matapos. For confidential funds.
Well, we understand no na hindi naman dapat mahaba itong impeachment trial na ito. That's why every now and then we are revisiting the list of our witnesses. If there are occasions when we can lessen the witness, we will do that. But if there are occasions we need to add witnesses, we will do that as well. It again, as I have stated earlier, no, walang fixed na list ng witnesses. It will all depend on the progress of the trial.
Thank you. Ma'am Milky?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Milky Rigonan, DCRH. Prosecutors, ano po yung, going back to the manifestation of Senator Judge Panfilo Ping Lacson kanina, na dapat meron daw pong magpapaliwanag on the issue of confidential funds. Ang sagot po ni Representative Joel Chua, pwede i-consider representatives from Commission on Audit. Will you consider it? Or pag-uusapan po ba ito ng prosecution team? Kong Jervil and Kong Lawrence.
Lahat po ng decisions ng prosecution comes from a consensus of the entire prosecution team, no? Bagaman nagkomento na ako kanina na significant yung naging concern ni Senator Ping Lacson. However, the presentation of evidence for confidential fund is confined only to the allegations in the articles of impeachment. Ano ba yung allegation? It pertains merely to misuse, to misappropriation, and to irregular liquidation of confidential fund, no? I don't know if yung concern ba ni Senator Ping Lacson will be covered already by the would-be testimony of our state auditor. In the event na hindi pa, definitely the team will be huddling again, consulting each other whether or not there will be need to present additional witness to better satisfy all the questions, possible questions, not only of the senator judges, but even of the viewing public with respect to the utilization of confidential fund.
Milky, we will assess the suggestion of Senator Ping Lacson. We do not want to compare OVP and DepEd with other agencies kung paano nila ginagamit ang kanilang confidential at intelligence fund. Kasi hindi naman pare-pareho ang pattern. Ang gusto naming patunayan ay maling paggamit o misuse ng confidential at intelligence funds. At hindi mo pwedeng ibangga yon ng pantay-pantay sa ibang ahensya tulad ng AFP, tulad ng PNP. So we have to assess that carefully if it will help the case and if it will help the people understand better. Baka maligaw lang ang mga senator judges o ang mga pangkaraniwang Pilipinong nanonood kung magkakaroon tayo ng ibang ahensya na presentation kung paano naman nila ginagamit when in fact we're not proving their own misuse kung meron man. So let's stick to OVP and DepEd because we want to prove misuse of confidential and intelligence fund that will constitute betrayal of public trust and culpable violation of the Constitution.
Thank you. Ma'am, kumustahin namin si Prosecutor Leila De Liva. She was interrupted many times kanina on her opening statement. Ano po ang nasabi niya sa inyo?
She's very much okay. As a matter of fact, I even told her na very powerful yung few questions na na-raise niya before she was interrupted. No, I think she anticipated that even during the start because she was forewarned at the onset about not making conclusion of fact and conclusion of law. Apparently nga, paborito ko yun making conclusion of fact and conclusion of law because we are the prosecution, no? But we perfectly understand the position of the presiding officer and even Congresswoman Laila De Lima equally understands that kasi kausap ko na siya kanina. She is very much fine.
Sayang na hindi natapos ni Congresswoman Laila De Lima ang kanyang introduction to confidential funds kasi sana malinaw ito na nailatag sa mga Pilipinong sumusubaybay kung ano ang kasalanan na gustong patunayan ng prosecution at kung anong aabangan na ebidensya para patunayan ito. Senator Chis Escudero is doing an excellent job as presiding officer. Ngunit sana bilang prosecution at bilang defense team, we should be allowed to freely advocate for our position na hindi naman kailangan bigyan ito ng mabigat na evidentiary weight pagdating sa senator judges. But sana hayaan kaming mag-manifest and freely advocate our position to support our case for conviction or for acquittal.
Yes. Yeah, I think I agree with wala na ako idadagdag doon sa sinabi ni Kong Noy at saka ni Kong Jinky. But I think it's a lost opportunity for the public to appreciate and understand fully kung ano po yung magiging premise ng Article 1. It would have been a perfect opportunity para maintindihan ng ating taong bayan itong paglatag ng ebidensya. Kasi ang maririnig nila ay mga technical, makikita nila ay mga resibo, pero mas sayang yung opportunity na yon na mas naintindihan ng ating taong bayan kung napatuloy yung preliminary remarks ni Congresswoman Laila De Lima. At alam ko, mga 90% ata doon, Tagalog. In Tagalog niya i-deliver sana. So, it would have been a perfect chance for our ordinary kababayan Filipinos na maintindihan itong Article 1.
Meron pa bang nais mag-atag ng katanungan? Kung wala na, maraming salamat po
Thank
sa
you,
ating
everyone. Thank
members
you.
of the panel, kay Chair Jinky, kay Congressman Defensor. Pero, please bear with us. Sabi nga ni Kong Noy, mas magandang malaman ng mga kababayan natin kung ano yung totoong pangyayari. Kaya ngayon, meron tayong konting PowerPoint presentation na ipapayag sa atin ni Congressman C. Alonto Adyong. Para lang po mas maintindihan ng ating mga kababayan yung kung ano yung kaganapan ngayong hapon na ito.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir.
Again, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. So, just a review lang po kung what happened today. So, we have presented dalawa pong witnesses. Isa po si Miss Ninita Compasano and Miss Violeta Constantino. Miss Violeta is the land bank manager po sa Shaw Boulevard, kung saan ang confidential funds po ng OVP ay doon na in cash. Ang payee po ay si Miss Gina Acosta. Siya po yung Special Disbursement Officer ng Office of the Vice President. Yung isa po ay si Ma'am Ninita Camposano. Siya po yung Land Bank Manager ng Land Bank DepEd branch, wherein si Mr. Fajardo ang payee nung amount na na-in cash, no? Being the Special Disbursement Officer. So again, very clear po dun sa testigo nila, si Ms. Ocampo, na tumanggap po ng 112.5 million pesos si DepEd Special Disbursing Officer Edward Fajardo mula sa 3 cheque, no? In trans. Yung pag-release po at pag-in cash nitong 3 cheque na to amounting to 112.5 million pesos, kung saan according sa kanyang recollection ay nilagay sa bag at saka nag-exit na po upon the releasing of this amount sa backdoor ng DepEd Land Bank. Nabanggit din po ng witness during the interpellation ni Senator Judge Amy Marcos na unusual na magkaroon po ng malalaking withdrawals ang DepEd nung panahon na siya po ay isang bilang branch manager. Dahil for the past 2 years po, nasabi po niya, nung siya po ay branch manager ng DepEd Land Bank of the Philippines, DepEd, ay for the first time na magkaroon po siya ng ganong klaseng amount na in-cash po in 3 tranches amounting to 112 million pesos. Tinanong po din siya kung meron pang other transaction from other government agencies. Nung nasa DepEd po siya, ang sabi po niya, wala po. That was the first time at hindi na po nasundan yung mga ganong malalaking amount na na-encash as compared to what Mr. Fajardo encashed during her time as Land Bank Manager of DepEd. DepEd Land Bank Manager. So tulad ng unang witness po, no, we're still talking about Camposano. Ang kanyang naging testimonya po ay nakatuon sa pagpapatunay po na ang bank records at sa proseso ng paglabas ng pondo ay hindi pa aktual na paggamit ng confidential funds. Ibig sabihin po, she has also testified na yung ating testimonya po na binigay po nila ay doon po sa kanilang bank records na naayon doon sa issuances of the cash encashment. So hopefully kasi connected din po ito dun sa tanong kanina ni Marian kung anong magiging possible na discussion in the couple of weeks. I think we will also try to connect this with our next witnesses in the coming days, next week. Again, similar po yung nakita po natin na pattern by which these 2 witnesses have testified. Number 1, confidential funds. Number 2, the manner by which these funds were issued and the manner by which it was encashed within a day. Tinatawagan po itong dalawang land bank managers 2 days or a day prior to the issuance of the check and the date by which it is expected to be encashed. So kung babalikan po ninyo, talagang sinasabihan po sila. I think may isa din po na naka-assign para tawagan si Miss Constantino para naman sa OVP. Meron din po naka-assign na tumatawag kay Miss Camposano, no? Pag sila po ay pag ang OVP at ang DepEd ay magpapa-encash po ng mga confidential funds nila. So, any questions po?
All right.
Wala na? Ha? Okay na? Okay na. Maraming salamat po.
Alright. Maraming salamat po, Congressman.